James Gallo, Derek Pletzel in the Golden West Trailer Equipment Broadcast. We are just rolling along, and we're going to head downstairs. Magri Coaches Show with Assistant Coach Curtis Pereverzoff. And Curtis, we were joking. I'm not sure if you heard. You know, sometimes you'll have a game where one team scores a ton, and it's a blowout victory one way. When's the last time you saw 16 goals from both teams in a hockey game?
Yeah, it's we were just joking in there. It's not something that's a coach's dream for sure, but in saying that, you got to be proud of the effort. There was a never say die attitude in the locker room, and our bench was great. In between periods, it was great. We just had that feeling like, we were never out of it, regardless if we gave up a couple leads. And that was great to see from a young group like ours, is to be able to win a game like that last night and tonight too. So real proud of the guys for the way that they came to play today.
Down 6-3 early in the third period, and you say you have that feeling. I know it's 2 games into the regular season, but 2 games in and having that feeling as coaches, how does that make you guys feel?
Well, it's obviously positive. It's nice for us to be able to flip the page into this year and just see that youth is coming alive. And we got down a couple goals, 2 or 3 goals, and the response from the bench was just heads up and let's go play for the next one. And we did that. I thought we answered the bell right away when we went down. So it's a great feeling all around, and we need to be proud of ourselves for that.
Curtis, compared to James and I, you're a young guy with a great head of hair, but I think I see a few gray ones in there after tonight. As you mentioned, probably not a coach's dream defensively and something you guys will go over. But coming into the season, I'll be the first one to admit I didn't know where you guys were going to get goals from. Honestly, I thought you guys were going to work hard. I thought there was going to be an uptick in terms of the level, but I just wasn't sure where the goals were going to come from. They came tonight, and is this something that we should expect? Is a well-rounded offensive?
Yeah, what I think I think when you look at teams in the past, there was always those high octane players that we had, and really those spots are up for the taking, and I think guys are going to take advantage of that. Obviously, look at a guy like Landen McFadden; he's someone that took advantage of that. Challenged him in preseason and tryouts to not just come back a year older, but to come back and take over and be a player that can handle those big moments. And I think we saw that tonight from him and from some other guys as well too. So we don't maybe have one of those guys that could be a complete game breaker, but I think with the depth that we have and players playing hard and playing honest, we're going to give ourselves chances, and guys can fill those roles in. It's there for the taking.
Number of guys that had multiple point games, but I believe Andreessen just had 1 point. But I thought he was a really important piece here tonight. What does he bring to your team that you didn't have last year?
Yeah, I checked. We were talking about him after the second period. Just someone who could be reliable. We guy that played for Lethbridge last year was someone who's going to be responsible in the defensive zone and playing down the middle and protecting pucks and keeping them out of the middle of the ice. And I think he's starting to find his stride in terms of what makes him successful. And that was exactly it. I thought he was using his reach, using his length and his body to protect the middle of the ice and keep plays towards the outside.
Magri Coaches Show with Assistant Coach Curtis Pereverzoff. Big win here tonight. 2-0 on the weekend. Curtis, congratulations. Good luck as you guys get ready for the Swift Current Broncos next Saturday.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
James Gallo, Derek Kletzel inside the Golden West Trailer and Equipment broadcast booth as we slide downstairs. More reaction from tonight's our first star of the hockey game. Landen McFadden, 2 goals, 5 points. Landen, when's the last time you had a 5-point hockey game?
I'd probably have to go back to when I was probably 10 or 11 years old. It's been a while, so it felt good.
Take us through tonight. I had mentioned to Derek, we had talked at the time. We thought both your goals were hard plays. We thought the assists that you made were skilled plays. Is this a game where you really showcased how you spent your long off season improving yourself on the ice?
Yeah, obviously they're a good team over there, so we knew what we had to do from the start. And obviously that first one, kind of a lucky bounce there, and then a nice move and just driving wide on their D-men. And it was a long off season, and I worked on a bunch of stuff, and I felt like it showed out there. So yeah.
The plays with your line mates, so you just seem to find them all over the ice. Is it communication? Is it peripheral vision? Well, what was happening there tonight? Just You were finding them everywhere.
Honestly, sometimes it's a little bit of luck, but if you see them, you want to try to make a hockey play, and especially against a good defending team like Brandon, you kind of got to see when you see those teams, you got to make quick plays. So yeah.
You look like you definitely increased speed. Your outside speed tonight was terrific. The way you got half a step past those guys and then just dropped your shoulder and went to the net. That was something else.
Yeah,
something
that was
you spent time in the summer doing, or is that just you're
yeah,
older?
that was one of the bigger focuses on my summer this past summer was getting bigger, faster, stronger, every way that I could, and yeah.
Assistant Coach Curtis Pereverzoff said down 6-3 early third period. There was just that feeling, and he said it was a positive feeling on the bench. Landen, can you describe what that feeling was like?
Yeah, we know our group doesn't have any quit. Obviously, it was a tough year last year, but obviously we've came out flying this year. It's there's a different feeling in the room, and you can just tell that this is going to be a good year, and we all feel good. We're a really tight group in the room, and we trust each other. So yeah.
2 early wins to start the season, obviously building some confidence. You guys are moving into next Saturday against the Swift Current Broncos.
Yeah, obviously these are 2 huge games for us to start out the year on a high note. Obviously last year I felt we were trending in the right direction towards the end of the year. We were getting pretty hot at the end, and I felt like it transferred over. And we got a couple new guys in the room. They've really boosted our morale in the room, and they're making plays on the ice and just playing like the Moose Jaw Warriors want to play. So yeah.
Our first start tonight, Landen McFadden. Congratulations. 2 goals, 5 points. Big win for the Warriors. 2-0 at the start of the season. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Good luck next Saturday against the Broncos.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.